Hello everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today we're going to talk about 2 more magic terms you may or may not have heard of. Alright my friends, welcome back to another episode of Advice for Magicians, where my goal is to help make you the best possible magicians you can be. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of more magic terms you may or may not have heard of. Now these are terms that I have not really known too much about until just recently, but these are ideas that I've kind of always known about and always played with. Some of these ideas have been talked about. Such greats in magic such as Juan Tamariz and Daryl Easton also have philosophy on this. Now these ideas predate those guys, but if you want to learn more, I recommend reading Tamariz and Easton's material on the subject at hand, which we're going to get into right after these announcements. If you have not already done so, please make sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell. That way you know every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to support the channel for just $1 a month, consider clicking the join button and become a Mob Squad member. Members will get access to a bunch of really cool stuff, including tutorials, early access to videos, emojis, badges, and even discounts at O'Brien Magic Shop. All this for just $1 a month. I'll even shout you out right here on the channel for everyone to see. So ladies and gentlemen, let's please say hello to some of our newest members. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Disney79 and Daniel Franklin. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. It is because of you, because of all my subscribers and everyone watching these videos that I'm able to keep this channel going. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. If you guys want to give me the greatest Christmas gift of them all, you can do so by joining and subscribing to the channel. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this. I wanted to talk about 2 things in this video. I wanted to talk about canceling solutions and leading them down the garden path. Now, both of these things kind of work together, so to speak, and they're both variations on the sucker effect, right? Now, for those of you who don't remember, I did a video on this term not too long ago, and essentially what the sucker effect is when you explain to a spectator that you're going to teach them how something works, but then you don't. Instead, you hit them with another magic effect or even make a gag out of it, right? So like, for example, you're doing a coins across thing, right? And you make the one coin clink, travel from one hand to the other one. And then you say, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, right? What I actually do is I sleeve the coin, right? It jumps from my hand and shoots up my sleeve just like this. So the spectator's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then you go, yeah, and then from there, I actually get the coin to go around my shoulders, down the other side, clink, and then it joins this coin over here. And so the spectator's like, okay, yeah, like obviously that's not really how you did it, right? So that's like a sucker effect, for example. Now, leading them down the garden path and doing canceling solutions kind of the goal is the same. It's to have the spectator think that they are gonna, like, you know, be let in on the secret, when in reality you're actually closing those doors, right? Maybe they're thinking, okay, well, obviously you're using duplicate cards. Oh, maybe you're not using duplicate cards. Okay, well, obviously you're using sleight of hand. Oh, well, maybe you're not using sleight of hand. Obviously you're doing this. Obviously you're doing that. So the goal is that in the spectator's mind, there are multiple open doors, multiple possibilities for how the trick can work. And with these canceling solutions and leading them down the garden path, what you're essentially doing is you're one by one closing all of those doors until there just is no solution. The trick is just impossible. So this could be considered an offset of a sucker effect, but I feel like a sucker effect has more of a punchline, more of a gag, or like a comedy aspect to it. Whereas these terms that we're talking about today, they're not really meant to be played as a gag. They're meant really to just close these doors. So let's expand a little bit upon this, right? So both of these things, leading them down the garden path and canceling solutions, can be kind of combined together. And I do this using my ambitious card routine. Now, for those of you who have watched my videos before, you know that I love to use my ambitious card routine as an example for a lot of different things, but I really think that there is a lot to learn from learning ambitious card. If you don't already know an ambitious card routine, I highly recommend learning one. There are just really great routines in general. But let's talk about my ambitious card routine and how these things kind of work together, right? So when we're talking about leading them down the garden path or canceling solutions, what we're saying is we are going to explain to the spectator how the trick is done, right? Now you might not say, here, let me show you how it works. but you might say something along the lines of this, I know you didn't see it the first time, but don't worry, we're gonna do it again. I want you guys to have every opportunity to see exactly how this works, right? Now, obviously, you're not really gonna do the trick again for them, right? You're going to pretend like you're gonna do the trick again for them, but in reality, you're actually gonna do something completely different, right? So, like let's just say you're doing a coin routine, for example. You take the coin just like this, and you squeeze it, and you make the coin disappear, right? And then you produce the coin here, and you go, don't worry, watch. I'm gonna do it one more time so you can actually see the exact moment the coin vanishes. And no, it's not there. You can see it really is truly invisible until I wipe my hand over it and it comes back, right? So that would be an example of canceling solutions or leading them down the garden path. You're saying, we're gonna do it again so you can see exactly how it works. And now they're thinking, oh, I know right where to look. He has the coin there. He's hiding it in his hand somewhere, right? I'm not sure where, but I know that the coin has to be there somewhere. And then you show it all around just like this, and you show your hand, or you can even do a total vanish and you can show your hand like this, right? And say, no, it really is just gone. So what you've done there is you've used two different methods that look like you're doing the same thing in order to confuse them. This can also be seen in the linking ring routine that I performed, Ninja Plus by Matthew Garrett. I'm using the standard linking rings with the key ring, right, where I link the ring on, I take it off, all that stuff. And then I switch into another gimmick, the Ninja Plus gimmick, and do moves that look almost the same, but then I'm able to let go of everything and take a step back. So now they're kind of examining everything, and that thought that they had before that there must be some kind of gap or opening in the rings is completely gone because they are examining everything and there is no gap, right? So I mentioned the ambitious card routine. Let's go ahead and go over this so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So in my ambitious card routine, it's actually 3 phases long. It's got some filler in the middle, but for the most part, it's 3 phases long. And the phases go like this, okay? First, I have them choose a card. The card's put back in the deck is shuffled up, and I explain to them, a lot of times what magicians will do is they'll shuffle the cards like this to try to confuse you, and I do some flourishy quick cut, right? And I go, don't worry though, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go very slow for you, okay? I showed that the card's not on the top, and it's not on the bottom of the deck. In fact, let's go ahead and do this. Here, I actually have a deck of cards here. I've gotten some feedback from you guys that you actually like to see this stuff actually being done, so we're gonna do that, okay? A card is chosen, doesn't matter which one, okay? The card is put back into the deck is shuffled up, okay? And I say, we're, blah, 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 shuffle up the cards. So now the spectator is thinking in their head, you had to have done something there, right? I say, look, the card's not on the top, it's not on the bottom, but I do the magic move, whatever your magic move is, and now your card is on the top of the deck. So now what I've just done is I've just showed that I have skill with cards. I can shuffle up the deck really fast. I can do these flourishy, fancy cuts and everything like that. So now they know, okay, obviously he's manipulating the cards. So now I don't want them to know that I'm manipulating the cards. So I need to close that door. Here's where I start leading them down the garden path and using canceling solutions. I'm gonna do the same thing again, but I'm gonna use a completely different method this time. They think they're seeing the same trick again, but really they're not seeing the same trick again. They're seeing something completely different, right? So I've already showed them, right? That the card's not on the top, it's not on the bottom, blah, 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 snap. Now the card's on the top. So now what I'm gonna do is seemingly no moves. I'm gonna say, look, I'm just gonna take the card, place it into the middle of the deck, just like this. Wave my hands and snap, and still your card comes up to the top of the deck. Wait a minute, he didn't do anything. He just literally took the card, stuck it in the middle of the deck, and now it's on top of the deck. Maybe he's not doing all that sleight of hand stuff, right? But maybe he's still doing something and maybe I just can't see it. So now here is method number 3. I say, I'm actually not gonna do it this time. I'm gonna let you do it. So I take the card, I say, go ahead and cut the top half of the deck away, and they do all of this in their own hands. I take the card, I put it in the middle, I have them put the rest of the cards back on top, and I hand them the entire deck. So now they're holding the deck in their hand, and I say, I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to go anywhere near the deck, but I want you to do the magic move. And this is their chance to do whatever magic move that they want. They reveal the card, and now it is on the top of the deck. They show it to all their friends, and all their friends go crazy, right? So now we have closed multiple solutions in their mind. At first, they thought maybe I was just really skilled with my hands and going really fast, and they didn't see anything, right? Then I did it again really slowly, and it still worked. So now it's not about how fast I do it, but maybe I'm still doing something sneaky that they don't see. So now I do it again. Only this time, I let them do it, or so they think, right? Of course, I'm still doing sleight of hand, but it's all done in their hand. So they feel like they've had control of the deck the entire time, even though they didn't. Now, maybe in their mind, they're thinking, okay, you didn't do anything, but how many 4 of spades are there in the deck, right? So now I like to do the little gag where I say, yeah, you could have chosen any card. It doesn't matter which one you would have picked. It's always the 4 of spades. And they go, oh, so you are using duplicate cards. And I go, no. This is a regular deck of cards. All of the cards in the deck are different. In fact, we'll do it one more time. And you can choose a different card if you'd like. And this time I want you to write your name on the card. So putting their name on the card now solidifies in their mind there are no duplicates, because if I see that same card again with my signature on it this time, there's no way that he could have done this effect using duplicate cards unless he somehow was able to like forge my signature, right? So now people start thinking out of the box a little bit too much. And oh, well, obviously you forged my signature and this and that. But when you say, but I didn't even know your name 2 minutes ago. How did I forge your signature, right? And you can close that door and the next door and the next door. Maybe you end this routine with the card vanishing completely from the deck and appearing in some kind of impossible location, right? So there's any number of ways that you can do this, but that in a nutshell is essentially the idea of leading them down the garden path, right? You're making them feel like they're gonna have every opportunity to get the solution. You're saying, yeah, you know what, here, let's go ahead and do it one more time, okay? But maybe you don't even do the same trick again, you do something a little bit different, right? But you're focusing them in, getting them to look where you want them to look and not necessarily where they need to look to be able to see the trick. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something from watching this. Again, that is leading them down the garden path and using canceling solutions, some idea that Juan Tamariz and Daryl Easton have lectured on. If you guys have any more questions for me about this stuff, please go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell. That way you'll know every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to check out some more magic, visit us at obrianmagic.com and be sure to check out our online magic shop where you will find the latest and greatest magic books, downloads, and accessories.